या देवी सर्वजननी योनिश्चैतन्य रूपिणी वामे स्थिता स्वात्म शक्ति गुरुलिंगा लिंग रूपिणी दत्तात्रेय समारंभां स्वप्रकाशानंद मध्यमां अमृतानंदनाथ पर्यंतं वंदे गुरु परंपराम. So praying to Bhagavati Kamakhya and praying to the Guru lineage from Dattatreya till my Guruji Shri Annapurna Sameta, Shri Annapurnamba Sameta, Shri Amritanandanatha. The topic chosen today is Kalavahana, to Kalavahana, invoking the abundance of nature in ourselves. So most of the people who are listening this and also the people who have spoken here, all of them are in some way connected to Srividya Upasana, whether they do practice or they are interested into that. So most of them might be they might be knowing what Sri Navavarna Puja is. They might be doing it, they might be understanding it, or they might just know that this is one of the pujas which is offered to Bhagavati as a Srividya practice. So this happened. So before we go about Kalavahana, I would like to give a little background to it. So Guruji was a nuclear physicist until his 52. He was working at Homi Baba or Dr. Homi Baba Atomic Research Center in Mumbai. He was posted here and there in Tanzania and rest of it. Most of his life he was very scientific, a science-based person, not a devotee or a regular temple goer, with very, very clear attitude. Even now, in his Upasana days, he would tell, don't take anything which is given to you. Try it out for yourself. Question it, experience it, and then put a green signal or accept it as a part of the tradition. One of the things which is not much celebrated when he was alive, but now it is sought after, he opened the doors of Srividya to people out of Brahmin community, out of the traditional community where lineage and a lot of your dress, the way you sound, the way you talk, everything was so very important. He opened it to foreigners, he opened it to people out of caste, creed, religion, background, whatever. So that's how being a Jain, born in a Jain family, I'm also initiated, is because Guruji Amritanandanatha Saraswati opened it up for people. In the lineage, apart from receiving his mantras and his Diksha, Purna Diksha from Swami Swaprakashananda Avadhuta Swami, our Paramaguru, he was directly initiated into Kaula Pujas by Bhagavati Kamakhya herself. And that was not in Guwahati, it was in Anakapalli. There's a small hillock which was donated to the trust. And Guruji used to do his sadhana on the hill at a particular spot for so many months. And one day Bhagavati appeared to him and she initiated him into the Kaula Pujas. And she gave a lot of information, knowledge, and she was one of our Divya Gurus. Apart from that, a couple of decades, Bala Tripura Sundari Bhagavati, whose talk we had in the morning, she was pratyaksh to him. In fact, she would give him the visions of Khadagamala Devis, which have been made into an idol form and have been put into a 54 by 54 feet Sri Chakra temple, which is a 3-floor building. So if you see from an aerial point of view, you will see a Sri Chakra. And where the Khadagamala Devis are posted, at that place, that particular Devi would be installed as idols. It's the only Sri Chakra temple in the whole world where you can get inside the Sri Chakra, sit in front of each Khadagamala Bhagavati, and then pay your respect and go to the Bindu Sthana where Sri Sahasrakshi Rajarajeshwari Devi resides. So this is the Devipuram Kshetra, this is the background we come from. And so Bala Tripura Sundari is also our Divya Guru. Over a period of time, without compromising on the essence, we follow Parshurama Kalpa Sutra. So without compromising on the essence, efficacy of the rituals, Guruji simplified a lot of processes. Because initially when he used to initiate people, there were Navavarna of 8 hours, 10 hours. And then since he went on initiating people in India, Australia, parts of Africa, a lot of places, devotees would come, the Shishyas would come and request Guruji to simplify it even more. Simplify it in a way they can practice on daily basis. So he made this whole Navavarna simplified into a capsule called Sri Kalavahana Puja. Shri Kala is part of Devi. In Shodanyas there is Ganesha, Graha, Nakshatra. So Devi is visualized as expansion in the universe. Whether it is the planets, whether it is Ganesha, his different forms, whether it's Nakshatra, Akshar Matruka, so many things that people who are practicing or know about Shodanyas or Mahashodanyas would definitely know this. So the whole aspect of Sri Navavarna Puja has been simplified in a 45-minute, 1-hour capsule, which can be performed for, again I'm repeating, which can be performed for non-initiates or on non-initiates. So this part of Srividya is frowned upon, is also looked with a lot of doubts in mind, because there's so much of controversies revolving around Tantra. So in Dakshinachara Tantra, more of Shaucha, Satvik Vidhi, coming from a very, very disciplined background, a very disciplined form of approach is given to the sadhana. The same, a lot of external worship is done on Murti or the Yantra. And most of the India practices in open, in public, most of the Indian temples practice Dakshinachara Puja. Samayachar is again a parallel stream, approach to Devi, where a lot of homas are conducted, but most of the practice is done internally. Like how you visualize the Devi in a part of your body or internally without any external upacharas, the whole prayoga, the whole sadhana process is done internally. Vamachar is notoriously known for the Aghora Pantha or the Aghorachar, where the most extremist things is offered as a part of your puja, and the sadhana itself is in extremities. So people who do smashana sadhana, who use prohibited items, the pratyaksha panchamakar, all of this is Vamachara. Vamachara is very violent, very intense, and it works just like that. Since it is so intense, Vamachara is limited to few selected people, and they never come out in open, and they're somewhere hidden. And if you know the Aghoris and Aghorachar, they follow Vamachar very well. Now the most important aspect, the Kaulachar, is what we are talking here about. The focus is more on the Kula, the practice behind the doors inside a Kula. There are many definitions to it, but here I'm only going to take certain perspectives of Kaulachara with regards to Kalavahana Puja. So again, Kalavahana Puja or the Kaulachar, in the Paddhati Kaulachar, they use Makara, they use it in Satvik form as well and the Pratyaksha Makara form as well. And that is very limited to what Guru decides for you. Whether we use the Pratyaksha Makara or the Satvika Makara, like we use Panchamratam for Visheshargya. So that's something which I can share in public. Yeah. So Kalavahana basically is a part of Navavarna Puja, simplified without compromising on its efficacy or the steps. Now I'll talk about the Tatvik or the philosophical understanding of Kalavahana Puja, why it is important. So we're talking about Kala, Shri Kala. So Kala is part of nature, part of Bhagavati herself. Srividya Upasakas above Panchadashi, they practice Rashmi Mala mantras, which are again Kalas or the rays of Bhagavati. And people, when they do Navavarna Puja, there is one part which is called Shri Kramam, where they transform a regular mundane liquid I repeat, they transform the regular mundane liquid into amrita or nectar with the power of mantras. Now, that Shri Kramam, they invoke 99 Jiva Kalas of different aspects of nature. That is Kalas. When we tell Kalavahana, this is the Kalas what we are talking about. Avahana, Avahana is inviting them. Puja, so you invoke the parts of nature, you become the nature. ऐसा हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, मतलब देवता बनकर ही देवी देवता की उपासना की जाती है. So when you are doing upasana of Bhagavati, you become the Bhagavati first, then you relate with Bhagavati, and then she receives the puja and blesses you. So Kalavahana puja basically goes with Kala, which is part of Bhagavati herself, which is distributed in different parts of nature. Avahana is inviting them and then offering puja to Bhagavati as a form of Sri Chakra, as a form of Murti, as a form of Jyoti in a lamp, as a form of Prana Shakti in living individuals, or internally as a part of Chit Shakti. So Kalavahana puja is done in manifold way. Again I repeat, it's done on a Sri Yantra or a Sri Chakra, on a Murti, on a Kumbha, on a Jyoti, in a living person. So here again, caste and creed is not there. Yes, in Srividya, the feminine folk or the women folk have larger hand. Even men receive Kalavahana puja as Chit Shakti and Prana Shakti herself. So please don't confuse it with Batuk, Suhasini, Bala pujas. This is an individual, independent capsule itself. So now, before we delve into the steps or how Kalavahana puja is performed, I will talk little about why this puja is so important. Why this puja is the gate of material fulfillment and also spiritual upliftment. See, the essence of Srividya, you can drop it down to three aspects. One is ascension, transcendence, and transformation. So whatever bhava as a lame person we are containing it, like the brain, the thoughts, the linkage of thoughts with the five sense organs, panchendriya, tanmatras and all of that. They keep going in vrittis, circle, from here to there, again it will come back to it. So human life is not, I think, regular mundane human life is not more than roti, kapda, makan. And people, most of the times when they come to upasana, pujas or worship of anything, they come to religion, they come to sadhana. Most of them, I'm not talking about the highly vairagya or people of very pious origin. Regular people come to pujas only for their swartha sadhana. They might not have a kid, they might not get married, they might be ill, they might have some obstacles or random stuffs. They come to pray to deity that, hey Bhagavati, please take care of these problems. That's why the whole process of, not originally, but commonly and popularly practiced now, the whole process of putting your nakshatra, rashi, name, gotra, and doing that specific sankalpam. That is how people come to the thing. So ascension from the jiva into a person who is on the path of searching Bhagavati is one of the essence of Srividya. Coming out from your roti, kapda, makan, everything is taken care. But now what else is there? So when everyone talks about bhogascha, mokshascha, kareshcha, when they say that Sundari upasaka tatparanam, like the people who do upasana of Bhagavati Lalita Tripura Sundari, they get bhog and moksha together. This is one of the reasons why Srividya has become commercialized. This isn't the topic, but I would still talk about it. Everywhere in the market, you get ready-made Sri Yantra, you get ready-made gurus where you pay 5, 10, 15,000. Recently, one of my known acquaintance has paid 5 lakhs and gotten Purna Diksha. So, ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज हो रही which is not Srividya at all. But yes, the whole aspect that nature is very wild. Prakriti ki Bhagavati, Bhagavati Prakriti, or the Prakriti of Bhagavati, both of them is very wild, uncontrollable. That is why there is a need of Shiva to station Bhagavati. That is why we need Guru in Tantra Upasana. So the whole aspect of Kalavahana Puja is taking the uncontrolled powers of nature in a controlled form. We're not controlling it because we're controlling Bhagavati. No. We're controlling it ourselves so that we can digest the grace of her. So when the powers of nature is controlled, it becomes beneficial. Mundane examples are like when rain is given in a controlled form, we are all eating that grains which is produced in the farm. When the rains are there properly, there is enough water, life for everyone. When the sun is giving its heat and the other light form in a controlled environment, it gives us vitamin D, it gives us chlorophyll. It basically nourishes us, protects us, takes care of us in all the way. Now that Mahavishnu comes out in two ways with his Shaktis of Shri Devi and Bhudevi. That Bhudevi is the nourishing aspect of it, that Shri Devi is the Jnana aspect of it. And that Mahavishnu is, again, in some parts of Upasana, we see Eka Bhedatvam with the Bhagavati Prakriti itself as one. So, Kalavahana gives you a measurement, a structure, and a way of inviting the parts of Bhagavati, inviting grace of nature in a way that it is controlled and given to us in the most beneficial way for us. A lot of people I know, they take up random mantras from random books, though they are initiated. They'll do upasana of that, not knowing the repercussions of it. There's so much of urgency or the sense of curiosity without any control in people where they take up Mahashodashi, Dasa Mahavidyas, even for us, say, Bala. They take up these mantras without, I think, the Ankusha of Guru Paramatma or the Guru Parampara. And then they see the uncontrolled electrical energy of nature putting a break in their life, having great turbulence. And when the same energy is controlled, becomes very beneficial for people, manifesting as Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, manifesting as Mahasaraswati, manifesting as Mahalakshmi, and manifesting as Shakti or Devi, and flowing down as grace in people's lives. So, coming from that perspective, the Trika philosophy, or even if you say Sankhya philosophy, they talk about tattvas. So, Sankhya has limited tattvas. Trika talks about 36 tattvas, where it comes from the initial 4 Shuddha tattvas, and then little impure, goes on to the last place where most of us reside. And the whole journey of a person is to go beyond their sense organs, go beyond their tanmatras, and go above in tattvas, and go back into the Mishra tattvas or little impure tattvas, again attain the Shuddha Vidya and attain the Shiva Shakti. So that is the journey in Trika philosophy, where it comes from the pure tattva, the Shiva tattva or the Shiva comes down, limits himself. The Swatantriya Shakti of Shiva Paramatma, Paramashiva, Parameshwar Shiva, they also talk it as Param Advaita Mata. That Shiva limits himself, expands into different steps in 36 tattvas and gets as a Jiva. And that Jiva, when he gets the control or Sayyam of Sadguru. So you all are here for Swami Sri Hari Prasad ji, and Swami Sri Hari Prasad ji is grace of Sri Sadguru Gyanananda Saraswati ji. So this is what Guru does. And this is what Guruji Annapurnamba Sameta, Amritanandanatha, or our Param Guru or Divya Gurus have done for me. Guru becomes that Sayyam, that filter, that brings the uncontrolled, terrible Prakriti in a way which is beneficial for us in the same exact quantity what would be required for us. If I ask 10x of that Shakti and I can only digest 4x, the Guru takes care of that. So a lot of times, jokingly, my senior Upasakas, they say, Guru is stabilizer. Thoda current, thoda electricity comes zyada aata hai, like, it doesn't burn the television or it doesn't fuse the air condition. Stabilizer takes care. So that is what Guru takes care. And the key to Guru, in our parampara at least, is Guru Paduka Mantra. So the whole expansion or limiting of Shiva Tattva, becoming the Jeev, getting to the Guru, and Guru gives Shaktipat. And Shastra tells you he gives Shaktipat in various ways. Kabhi aankhon se, like the eyes itself. Kabhi words. The highest Shaktipat, they say Mantri, Shambhavi, and 5 steps are there in that. We will not go into those details because they might not be relevant here. But I'm telling you the story. Telling you the story of myself, telling you the story of you, and probably every living being. That, as Param Shiva, we have forgotten our Swatantriya, limited ourselves, and become the Jeev. And some of us, because of some Satkarya we have done in past, or sometimes I feel I have not done any Satkarya, main to nalaik hi hu. Nalaik means fit for nothing, yeah. But Guru does the grace. And Guru ne wo grace dikha ke aapko mantra ki diksha di. Guru has given you that mantra upadesham. From parampara, okay, when we say the Guru Pratna, we say Dattatreya Samarambham. So, Bhagwan Dattatreya ke parampara se. So, when he is given the Vidya to Parshurama, the Bhagwan Parshuram has given that Vidya to the others. And in the lineage, when it is coming, and it has come to our Parameshti Guru, then it has come to our Param Guru, and then from Param Guru, it has come to Guruji, and all of a sudden, one day randomly, we think it is randomly, because I feel I was not prepared at all. I know, okay, I was also very curious कि मुझे सीखना है, मुझे Srividya करना है. I'm coming from a Marwadi background. Honestly agree, because I got inside Srividya because there's a lot of Shri in Vidya. Not by selling it, but I thought Srividya matlab paisa aayega. But to be very, very honest, as per Guru Amma's instruction, Bhagavati Shri Annapurnamba, after completing my first Ganapati Purashcharan, the whole thought of doing Upasana for getting a lot of paisa itself vanished. And the whole direction of Srividya went off in a different way. And today if I'm speaking, it is her grace which is coming out. All grace is her, all mistakes are mine. And I totally agree, because no ways a random ambitious guy who is getting inside business wants to settle in his life. Here and there I will go to temple, here and there I'll attend pujas and all of that, but not showing any qualities of an upasaka, goes and receives Guru Paduka mantra from Bhagavati in human form, gets Mahaganapati mantra initiation, gets other mantras as well, sits with her 3-4 days in the ashram, learns every part of it, comes and does it mechanically. ठीक है, tarpayami namaha, prithvyatmak, gandham kalpayami, all of that, like repeating. उन्होंने बोला इतने दिन करो, इतने दिन कर लिया. And then when I get back to Guru Amma ki, ye Guru Amma, I've completed my first task which you are given. So she is like, she is very neutral. Most of the time she'll never show any expressions. And to have a Stri Guru itself is one of the biggest bhagya for a Srividya Upasaka. There is independent Stri Guru Stotras. Stri Guru Upasana Paddhati and Stri Guru Kavach itself. In Tantric Grantha, there is no Purush Guru Kavach. So far my knowledge, if you have a Stri Guru, I think you should stick to her. Do as much as Upachara Pujas or as much as Guru Bhakti you can do. So I asked Guru Amma, okay, I've finished this, what to do next? So she was clearing other doubts in Upasana. Okay, this is to be done, or what is to be done. So I told, I did my japa, I did my tarpana, I did my puja, havan, dashansha, marjan, and then I fed 10 people, and now I'm coming and taking, okay, Guru Amma, this is the dakshina, please bless me with mantra siddhi. So she asked me one question, ये सब करने से तेरे को सिद्धि हो गया? मतलब she just tell सिद्धि हो गया क्या? मतलब she asked, by doing this upasana you have received siddhi. So that gave me a deeper thought, and she laughed. Okay, that's her special way. Is Annapurnamba. She has this way where she knows everything what is going with you. She will tell you the right advice, and then she will make some joke and just the whole topic will be deviated, and that's how funny she is. That's her style. And in that, she gave me a instruction where japat siddhi, japat siddhi, japat siddhi na shanshaya. That it's not that the tasks which gave me siddhi, it never gave me siddhi. But following her instructions and telling, wo jo bol rahi thi, wo main वैसे किया, and then probably Bhagavati graced me. That's what I understand. So coming back to the philosophical or the tattvic angle to Kalavahana Puja is the whole journey of Jeev who has forgotten his Shivatva, his Swatantriya Shakti. He's limited himself into Tanmatras, Indriyas. Okay, even more if he's limited to himself as Antriksh or one person who regularly visits Sri Vishnumohan Foundation. I started coming to Vishnumohan Foundation with my friend Swastik. He was my senior in philosophy department. I was in genealogy department. He was in philosophy, Madras University. तो मेरे को ऐसे ही बोल के लाया. He used to tell me कि अच्छा South Indian खाना मिलता है इधर. So that's how I started coming to Sri Peetam. But eventually I think Sadhguru graced, and now I come here for probably genuine reasons. The whole point of doing Kalavahana daily, single instruction from Guruji is like, do Kalavahana daily, you will see Devi. This is what is written in his articles. It's published in the book called Gift from Goddess as well. The whole charcha of that 36 tattva, I'll leave it to some other day, and probably there are much more better vidwans who can explain you very well. The whole crux of this is getting back to the Shuddha Swarupa or the super consciousness. You have to go to that journey, and then that journey is this sadhana. And so far, Kalavahana has been taken by people for various different reasons, or just even in Kautukavasha, just curiosity, because Kalavahana gives very, very mild and immediate experience of Kundalini. So people just take it like, oh, kuch to naya hai, kuch to bada cheez hai tantra ke naam pe, so we will just go experience. Kalavahana is not just that. Kalavahana itself is the whole sadhana where you can understand your Swatantriya Shakti and you can become the Paramashiva in this life itself. Attain Jivan Mukti until you attain Videha Mukti and Sayujya with Bhagavati Lalita Tripura Sundari or Parashakti. That is as a lot of times what happens is, as a child we have some disease, or we are having fever or cold cough or something. What will our mother do is, she will just take the capsule, she'll break it into powder, grind it, then probably she'll mix little honey or something, or she'll just mix it with warm water, give it to you, immediately she'll give you little honey. And then you feel good, okay, we are not taking something very bad. This is what Guruji Sri Amritanandanatha Saraswati has done for all of us, by bringing Kalavahana out in open. For people who are initiates, yes. People who are non-initiates also can receive Kalavahana Puja on themselves, becoming Bhagavati themselves. Any of the lay person who is listening here can still go to Devipuram, ask for a Kalavahana puja done. They will be taken to the Kamakhya Guru Peetham, which is Swayambhu. So one Kamakhya is Swayambhu in Guwahati, another Kamakhya is Swayambhu in Anakapalli Devipuram, where she appeared to Guruji, and where she appeared, that place had a Swayambhu Yoni Peetham. And water was naturally coming out when Guruji dug and found it out. There was a Shri Chakram also, there was a Shivalinga also, and there was a triangle peeth. That place they still offer Kalavahana puja. As a lay person, you can go, you can request that in the office. They will arrange volunteers who are initiates. They'll make you sit. They'll ask you to change clothes. Decent, nice clothes are there. They'll ask you to change it. They'll make you sit. Then, Navavarna has 3 parts. So does Kalavahana has 3 parts. In first part, they will do all nyasas. All the Jiva Kalas are invoked you as a patra. Okay, this Guruji never explained, but he gave it. Now that we are, recently when I was doing Shiva Sutra course, or I was learning it from one of the Pandits, I can say Pandit because he's realized it, Yogeshwarji Dholakia from Mumbai, Zoom pe class lete. And even Giri Ratnaji was doing lectures on Paratva Trinshika. He's talking about the nature of Parashakti and Jeev, Shiva, the whole Bhavanopanishad Yatra. ये जब पढ़ाई कर रहा था मैं, when I was doing this understanding, I still have a lot of doubts in them. I'm not completed the whole syllabus very well. But when I was learning from these people who have done enough sadhana, that's when I understood that what I do it, Kalavahana, what I've received from our parampara in a very subtle way, like a regular Sri Padukam Pujayami Tarpayami or regular puja jaise, I understood intricacies of Kalavahana puja in the eyes of Shastra. गुरुजी नेवर नीडेड शास्त्र, मतलब उनको कभी शास्त्र के साथ उसको एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी कि यू हैव टू प्रूव दैट दिस पूजा इज गुड. Nothing like that Guruji has done. But yes, now when I'm reading Shastras, I can really appreciate this puja. What first part of puja is, they do nyasas. They invoke Brahma Kala, Vishnu Kala, Rudra Kala, Ishwar Kala, Sadashiva Kala. And on that they invoke Bhagavati Lalita Tripura Sundari. They invoke Guru Paduka, they invoke Shiva Paduka, they invoke Shakti Paduka, they invoke Shiva Shakti Paduka. Everything which we do in the Visheshargya as a part of Shri Kramam, that is done on the body of the people. After that, Bhagavati Parashakti in her most benevolent form, Ananda Bhairavi, is invoked in the person, living person. The whole Mahapadmavana Antaste, Pratishta, everything is done in the person. Now the person is the patra who is containing the Chaitanya. And that person's body becomes the patra. And the person's consciousness becomes the Chaitanya, whose argya we are providing and giving it to Bhagavati as Visheshargya. The person is seated very comfortably in the Kamakhya Peetham. He is offered the nyasas, he is offered prana pratishtha, and then a ritual bath or mantra abhishek is done using Khadgamala Stotram and Guru Namavali. So Guru Namavali is, I think, Guruji Amritananda Nath's version of Guru Ashtotara Nama. We'll get back to the details of this later, but you understand there's this whole concept of Chaitanyargya Samaradhya Chaitanya Kusumupriya. This comes in Lalita Sahasranama. And there is also, uske baad, further in Lalita Sahasranam, this also is told, Antarmukha Samaradhya Bahirmukha Sudurlabha. So of all the rituals, what we do, of all the Purushcharan, everything which we have been doing for ages, I know so many people who have done Bala Koti Japam, still that Sanidhyam of Bhagavati is not shown in this face. It's not about we keep pressing the button of Mala and repeating the Nama Japa or the mantra which this Guru is given. It is very, very, very important to follow Guru Aksharashah or follow his Guru's instruction step by step. What he is told, do it. This puja, Kalavahana, what it does is, It takes, because when the nyasas is done, it is touch, right? Touch tanmatra, sparsha tanmatra. It brings our focus to that part. So this is not just the Annamaya Kosha, also the Pranamaya Kosha, the Sukshma Sharir, where all the chakras are there. Those parts get activated. So when the nyasas is done, our chit from outside world, Bahiratma Bhav, becomes Antaratma. So we were talking about yoga is nothing but chitta vritti nirodha. Sometimes it is also told, Haribhadra Suri Maharaj tells Sanklishta Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So both the ways we can take it. It is stopping the mind, stopping the revolving of mind. It goes in circles, no? From here to there to there. Stopping that, staying there until the Chitta Swatantriya, the Parashakti manifests itself outside. So that stillness happens when the Sparsha Tanmatra touches the body, does the nyas, Riddhyai Namaha, Smrityai Namaha, or you go to Chandrakala, Pratisthai Namaha, Amritai Namaha, Manadai Namaha. So when the nyasas is done, the whole Bahiratma Bhav comes into Antaratma. And when Bhagavati is invoked as Chitru Mahapadmanantaste, Karanananda Divya Vigrahe, when that is invoked, that Bahiratma Bhav has already come to Antaratma. From Antaratma, he goes into Paramatma Dasha. And the person stays in that Dasha, in that stillness, receiving the puja as Devi herself. So then, when Khadagamala Stotra is recited, they take Gandhaushadhi, mix it with water, and they do as Abhishek to the person. And after Khadagamala is done, they do Archana with Guru Namavali, the 108 names of Guru. And then Panchopachara Puja is offered to the living person who has been invoked, in whom Bhagavati has been invoked. And they're offered Pancha Upachara and Karpura Arati is done. And this is what Kalavahana Puja empowers each individual to taste divinity at least for some moments. And when the person is tasting that divinity, he's forgotten his body, he's forgotten his mind, he's forgotten his identity. That moment he's Bhagavati himself, herself. That moment when he's experiencing that, he gets a small experience or big experiences, or whatever experiences, depending on his capacity of Kundalini Shakti. So experience aane ke baad we have better confidence, better Vishwas. Because all this time when we keep doing Upasana, we are revolving the Japmala, we are revolving the mantra in our heart, we are doing the pujas and upacharas, we don't have a validation where the Chaitanya is, where Bhagavati is. But when the Kalavahana puja is offered to you and you receive it, momentarily you experience Kundalini ascension. And majority, if 10 people have received it, at least 9 people experience it very well. They know what Bhagavati is, how she feels like, how she is seen, how she is smelled. The internal Indriyas open up and they taste Bhagavati. So that is secret of Kalavahana Puja, which Guruji Amritanandanath never spoke about, but he just made people do, telling that this will open up abundance in your life. This will open up good things. So if at all you find time to go to Devipuram, please go. It is in Ankapalli. Experience this Kalavahana for yourself and you will know what experiencing Navavarna is. Because sometimes people call it Lagu, the Devipuram people call it Kalavahana only. But outside people, they say this is the Lagu Navavarna Puja. What is Lagu or Vrihad in this? But Guruji has simplified the whole process, removed extra fluff without compromising the Shastra, without compromising the efficacy of it, and given a puja which is as small as 45 minutes or 1 hour, every day you can do. So now coming to the transcendence aspect. So we spoke about ascension of Jiva as Shiva, transcension and transcendence. Transcendence of what? From Bahiratma Dasha to Antaratma Dasha, Antaratma Dasha to Paramatma Dasha. In this particular life. And transformation is when we experience. So, for example, if Alex has asked for Kalavahana and he's received Kalavahana Puja, a lot of people do it for 7 days. That Guruji has instructed for some people with specific problems in life, specific obstacles in spiritual journey. They've asked them to do Kalavahana on themselves for 44 days. After that, there's some specific transformation in their life. And that is what the whole purpose of Srividya is, right? From Pashu Bhava, I become a Veer person. From Veer, I attain the Divya Bhava. This is my hard work with Guru's grace. That transformation of Srividya, Kalavahana easily gives. See, when a Pashu can be transformed into Veer and Divya, transforming our obstacles or apatti into sampatti or into prosperity is very easy. Mundane life problems, solving them is very easy with Kalavahana, but coming back to changing the Pashu into Shiv, that is the chamatkar, I can say, Kalavahana Puja offers to people. So, we will understand again once. So, this was a long Tattvic explanation. Giving a 2-line explanation, you are the Patra, our body is the Patra, in which with the Nasa, so what they do in Vishesha, the Shri Kramam, they do Mandir Archana, the 44 triangles of Shri Chakra, each is visualized as one enclosure, as Shri Puram of Devi itself. Like Kalpavriksha Vatikaye Namaha, Harichandana Vatikaye Namaha, Marakata Ratna Prakaraya Namaha. So when you see the Shri Puram of Bhagavati Lalita Tripura Sundari, she is living in a fortress which has one enclosure of different Ratnas, there is one enclosure of Kalpavriksha. So as what Puranas and as the texts tell, this is how Bhagavati's enclosure is. There is 44 stages. In last 5 stages, you have Brahmamaya Ekamancha Padaya Nama. Matlab, this throne in which Bhagavati is sitting, each of that throne is Pancha Brahmas, one of the Brahma, which is Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishwar, and the seat of the throne itself is Sadashiva. Sadashiva Avastha in the 36 Tattva is of formless. On that formless, if Parashakti has taken a form, she comes as Lalita Tripura Sundari and ascends on the throne. That Mandir Archana was done, that's the first part. So, when we do the Shri Kramam, this is done first. Now after that, you do Samanya, the other Nyasas and the Samanyargya, Visheshargya, Patra Sthapan. When you do the Patra Sthapan, you are invoking the Agni Kala first. This is very, very important to listen, because if you are a mantra upasak, whether it's not Srividya, your Vaishnav, your Saur, your Jain, your Bodh, you're doing any mantra upasana, even Nama Japa, this concept will be very important. Please listen. So first you put a Adhara, which is Agni Kalatmaka. And when we put that, we say Agni Kalatmake Arthaprada. No, sorry, I repeat. Agni Kala Dharma Prada. That is the base. So Dharma, being in your Dharma, attaining the Dharma Purushartha, both the ways, is the first step in establishing the Visheshargya or offering yourself as Chaitanyargya to Parashakti in life. So Srividya's Upasana or Kalavahana Puja is not just that 45 minutes, it's your whole life, where Japo Jalpa, when we say as per Shankaracharya ji, every aspect of you becomes Chaitanya Argya offered to Bhagavati. So Adhara Adhar, that thing's Adhar is Agni Kalas, which is Dharma Prada. Then we put the Visheshargya Patra. That Visheshargya Patra is again Surya Kala. Artha Prada. Artha Prada is Artha Purushartha. So when we invoke Surya Kalas in ourselves, we make our Patra pure. We also receive the Rashmis of Bhagavati as Surya and his Shaktis. But we also purify our Vasanas. We purify our 3 mulls, karmic mull, all the 3 mulls, and Then we do Shambhavopaya, Anavopaya and all of that. So we're not again drifting back to philosophy, coming back. We clear our mulls when the nyas is done. We stop identifying ourselves as the body, and then we start identifying ourselves the patra or the kala in which Devi is invoked. So after the Surya Kala, the Agni Kala, Surya Kala is invoked, then Chandra Kala is invoked, with 16 Shaktis of Chandra. Now, when all of these three comes together, taking Agni Kala as earth, Surya Kala as sun, Chandra Kala as moon, it makes a temporarily eclipse formation. And in Mantra Shastra it is given, during the Grahana, whatever mantra you repeat, whether that Grahana is of 2 hours or 4 hours or half an hour, from the beginning until the moksha of the Grahan, that one mantra which you repeat becomes Siddha. You don't need to do Panchanga Puruscharan for that. Because that mantra japa in the Grahana Kala, Punya Kala, is equal to Sawa Crore japa, 1 crore 25 lakh times. So before we invoke Bhagavati Shri or Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, we create that eclipse formation in the body of the person. And on that Sudha Devi herself is invoked. Sudha Devi is the Devi of Amrita. She is none other than Bhagavati, but here she is an aspect of Bhagavati as Amrita. Sudha Devi is invoked, Ananda Bhairava and Ananda Bhairavi is invoked, and as a union of them, the Sudha drips. That dripping Sudha is offered to Guru to cleanse it, right? Like when we do the Visheshargya, we offer the Visheshargya after consecration to Guru. And then we receive Mahavakyas from Guru, right? I'm not telling the mantras, but understand the whole, for the 4 Mahavakyas from the 4 Vedas, that is received. You do Brahmarpanam, and that's when Devi is invoked. So first, you as a body is purified, the base is Dharma or the Agni Kalas, your body sustains, retains Surya Kala and Chandra Kala, a mini eclipse is formed. As a result of that, you are in a trance. Any person who gets this done, if the person who is doing or offering Kalavahana Puja to a person, the sadhaka who is offering to a person who wants to experience Kalavahana Puja, if it is done properly, that time the ascension of Kundalini definitely happens. So here, all these years when we are practicing Navavarna Puja or any puja to Bhagavati, we are offering fruits, we are offering sweets, we are offering tambulam, we are offering abhisheka, we are offering 64 upacharas. All that offering को एक साइड धर लीजिए, keep it aside for a moment. When you offer yourself to Bhagavati, that Jiva attains Shiva, like so your body becomes the patra, your Chetana inside, Chit Shakti becomes the Argya, Chaitanya Argya Samaradhya. This is the expansion of that verses from Lalita Sahasranama, Chaitanya Kusuma Priya. And after that, Bhagavati is invoked with the mantras of Parshurama Kalpa Sutra, what is there in Shri Krama, the same mantras. Bhagavati is invoked. Then the Avahanadi Sarva Mudras are done to the person who is receiving the Kalavahana Puja. Prana Pratishtha is done. After that, Avahanadi Sarva Mudras are done. When the Avahana is done, one more important aspect is Devi is not just invoked. Devi is invoked with her complete aspect of nature. They say Shri, in that Avahanam, another 2 minutes? I'm just completing it, yeah. So they say, Shri Devi Pujartam, Shri Chakragata Sarva Avarana Devata Navahayami, Chaturayatana Devata Navahayami, Divya Siddha Manava Guru Mandala Navahayami. So they invoking all the aspects of nature, including Pancha Bhuta Navahayami, Sarva Pranigata Vastugata Jiva Chaitanyana. So they are invoking Bhagavati and the Chaitanya of Bhagavati in all the jivas into that person for that moment. Then they invite Shringara Kama Leela Natya Veera Goshti Pradarshaka. So all the rasas or the Shringara Rasa, etc. is invoked. After invocation, they do the Avahanadi Mudras, and then they do Abhishek of Khadgamala Stotra and Guru Namavali. They do Panchopachara Puja. The same thing Guruji used to advise for Kaula Pujas to couples to do it by themselves in privacy of their life. Now, this is the purity of Kaula Pujas, which is not as per the popular Tantra which you are Googling or you're being told about ki Tantra is all about sex and all of that. Nothing like that. This is the purity and the piousness of the puja which is offered, where you become Devi, receive the puja as Devi, and bless yourself and the world as Devi. So, this is one small exploration of Kalavahana Puja. There are many more. I think 3-4 days if we sit and also discuss about it, Kalavahana itself becomes one private topic in which we can bring out more and more instances related with Shastra, go beyond the Shastra and come to the Anubhav, because mystics talk about Anubhav and experience, and then they use Shastra as validation of their experience. So, following the footsteps or the Agya of Sri Annapurnamba Sameta Sri Amritanandanatha, do Kalavahana every day, see Devi for yourself. This is what the closing notes I would give. You can Google about it. There is a forum.amritananda.org. It's an educational platform itself where so much information about Kalavahana is already there. If you want to experience Kalavahana, there are various people across India and other countries. Even Guruji's daughters travel across the world offering pujas and initiation and all of that. Kalavahana can be experienced in person. If you go to Devipuram, you can experience Kalavahana there in the Kamakhya Peetham itself. So the same Kalavahana, if you learn, everything is on internet, okay? So if you just put on YouTube Kalavahana Puja, you will see videos of Kalavahana Puja done on yantra, Kalavahana Puja done on people, regardless of caste and creed. You can learn it by yourself and practice it. Use it as a tool to enhance your upasana. There are material benefits of it. वो तो ऐसे भी है, जो भी आपकी कमी है, whatever scarcity is there in life, that can be fulfilled by Kalavahana. Not talking much about it, but Kalavahana is the door for opening up Devi to you, experiencing yourself as Devi, and living the life of bliss in future. That's Kalavahana. Thank you so much. Sarvam Shri Guru Arpanamastu.
He has spoken about a beautiful tradition. There are different traditions, as has been said by Professor Vijay Raghavan. There are multiple traditions. Say Dakshinatya tradition, that is Sadhana Achara. This Achara is very familiar and very famous here, maybe throughout India also. And there is another one called Kaulachara, which is also called Vamachara, which is prevalent in Assam and such areas. The famous temple being Kamakhya, and then Samayachara. So these are three famous acharas, and he has taken initiation according to Kaulachara, and that achara, and in that achara the Kalavahana Puja, and when Kalavahana Puja is done, how this Kalavahana Puja makes us feel the divinity, where the living individual is seated, the Guru is seated, and of course these are generally happening, but these are generally done in some way. But in the Kaulachara, this is done in a more special and more particular way. And we all famously know Ramakrishna and Saradamba doing the puja and all those things. So this sort of pujas are becoming very popular and they are widely known. And here I have to refer to one thing with regard to Advaita and this Shakta tradition. Now what happens in the Shakta tradition, why Shakta tradition becomes more important? Generally in the mutts also the pujas are, the Shakta tradition puja is very much there. Why this becomes very, not only why this, Bhaskar Raya in his Varivasya Rahasya Vyakhya, he refers to this particular aspect. How there are many what is called coinciding aspects in the dhyana technique. And this helps to understand, say for example, what is the Brahma Sutra? It starts with Adava Brahma Jigyasa, and then next sutra is the definition of Brahman, Janmadhyasya Yataha. This definition gives the source from which everything comes. The ultimate cause of everything is Brahman. When you say the ultimate cause of Brahman, everything is Brahman, the ultimate cause of everything, that is without exception. Without exception, the third sutra, that is Shastra Yonitvat, makes even Veda. Veda, according to tradition, is Shaswata, it is ever existing, it is uncast, Apaurusheya. But including Veda, everything, the source of everything is Brahman. This is what say. So there is cause and effect relationship, Brahman being the cause, everything else being the result. And you have to understand everything. Whether they have got some freedom, whether there is an exception, when new problems come into existence like cloning, etc. Whether if such new life origins can be created, whether they will be included in these things within the created world or how they will be. And if you look at Devi Bhagavata and such Puranas, they specially explain every concept of this material world. In fact, you don't have universe in Devi Bhagavata. Devi Bhagavata speaks of multiverse. So multiple universes and connection between verses. That is in the first skanda, the multiple universes are being spoken of. And multiple Vishnus, multiple Brahmas and multiple Rudras and all those people. So when you have got Aneka Brahmanda, not one Brahmanda, Aneka Andas, Aneka Brahmandas, everything are there. How we are going to take all these people together, and then you have got Upasanas. So the Brahman is the cause. To reach that Brahman, you have to develop yourself, and for that, what is called Upasana, we prepare ourselves through Upasana, and there are different types of Upasana. Upasanas enshrined as part and parcel of karma, or karma itself. In this way, different types of Upasanas are spoken of, and then from these Upasanas, especially the Srividya Upasana has got many components of Advaita incorporated within it, and that helps what is called concentrate. Hence, especially in the Varivasya commentary, all these informations are given, and that becomes very important thing for people to say. For example, morning I referred about Bandasura. That is Rakta Bija. Rakta Bija story is given in the 5th skanda of Devi Bhagavata. Of course, it is given in other Puranas also. They speak like science fiction, how even whatever may be the development of science, etc., that also can help in a way to, that is, everything is taken care of, everything is known. So in this way, it helps. That's why Antashaktaha. Okay. Now, we will come to the next speaker, and he has, that is the previous speaker, Antariksha has presented the different aspects of Nyasas, and then making the external world Bahirmukha, that is the Bahirloka into the Antarloka within ourselves. Tamil sollulla andathula ulladhu pindathila ulladhu andathilane. And how we can see everything within ourselves, and how we can do that Nyasa, do that Dhyana, meditation, etc. And Godavarisa Misra, the next speaker, he is going to speak on Saundarya Lahari. Saundarya Lahari also has got an important anecdote. That is, Adi Shankaracharya had gone to Kailasa to meet Lord Shiva, and Shiva himself had given this, that is Shankara Vijaya states, the Saundarya Lahari text was given to him. And while Shankara was coming with the 5 lingas, that is 5 Shiva idol forms, and Saundarya Lahari, Nandikeswara wanted to see what that text is. So he immediately plucked from Shankaracharya. So what happened? The first portion, the last portion, last 45, 55 verses or so have gone into Nandikeshwara. And when Shankaracharya reported to, that is called Shiva, this is what happened. Shiva told him, you compose the verse, you complete it. So the first portion have been given by Shiva himself. That's why Shiva is considered to be the author of Srividya tradition or Shakta tradition or anything like that. So the first 45 verses called Ananda Lahari, which is speaking more of what is called Tantra, Shakta Yantra, Shakta Mantras, like that. And the later 55 verses, which speak of the beauty of the what is called the form of goddess, that is ourselves imagining goddess and imagining goddess and meditating and all those things. So first is called Ananda Lagari and the second portion is called Saundarya Lagari, etc. In spite of all the stories given in Shankara Vijayas, the importance is how Saundarya Lagari becomes more important in every respect. And not only that, Saundarya Lagari, if you look at it, every sloka has got yantras, mantras, tantras, etc. and the particular way of doing upasanas and for particular purposes or for general one. Now, Godavarisa Misra is a visiting professor at the Nalanda International University, India. Earlier, he served as a visiting professor in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences at the Indian Institute of Technology, Bhubaneswar from 2018 to 22. Formerly, he also worked as the chairman of the School of Philosophy and Religious Thought as well as professor and head of the Department of Philosophy, University of Madras. He was the editor at the Kuppaswamy Shastri Research Institute, Chennai during 1985 to 88 and also was the member and secretary of the Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi during 2007 to 11. His main areas of specialization are Vedanta and Buddhism, especially classical and textual tradition. He has published more than 50 research papers on classical and contemporary Indian thought and comparative philosophy and authored many review articles. His publications include Anubhuti Prakasha of Vidyaranya, 1992, Shivajnana Bodha Sangraha Bhashya of Sivagra Yogin, co-editor, and Parampara, Essays in honor of R. Balasubramanian, co-edited with Srinivas Rao, 2003, and Breaking Barriers, Essays in Asian and Comparative Philosophy, he co-edited with Frank Hoffman, and Vedanta Without Maya, a debate on Saptavida Anupapatti. It was published in 2014. This Vedanta, the Saptavida Anupapatti is some of the objections, 7 objections raised by Ramanuja against the theory of Maya in his Sri Bhashya. And of course, there is a Kandanamandana Parampara, 2 and 4th. And he has written what is called, Misra had come out with this particular topic, an edited book, Maya, Vedanta Without Maya, and now Professor Godavarisa Misra.